Okay. All right, guys. I'm just gonna wait for my guest, and then we'll crack on from there. All right. Cool. Uh, Interesting. See, this man is sweating now. All right, guys. All right, you're welcome. This is the Hustle series. We're just trying to get our guest in, and then we'll go from there. Okay. Good stuff. Okay, I'm just waiting for my guest to join in, and then we'll be ready to go. All right. You're welcome back, guys. Hi, Diva TV, Dami, Ife, Tope. You're welcome. All right, I'm just waiting for my guest to come back in. Hi, Remy Benson. I see you. All right. Okay, I just need to see my guest. Okay, fine, she's in. So I'm just going to bring her in now. Let's see if this works. Yes, it looks like. Oh,
Hi.
hello. Hi.
I'm so sorry.
No worries at all. No worries at all. Great, great. Sorry, I had to log out and log back in. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so glad to have you on. So glad. How are you doing?
I'm very well. Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you for
ladies and
having me.
gentlemen. So we've got. It's my pleasure to have you. Absolute pleasure. And I'm going to introduce our guest, and then we'll go from there, if that is okay. So um, I know, like the celebrity you are, you'll listen to you being introduced, and then we will go from there. So, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome
Yes, please.
Ighiwiyisi Jacobs. She's an outstanding woman with a crazy love for God. She has a heart of steel for all things quality. Um, she comes from an illustrious clan of creatives, a whole lot of them. She's happily married to a great man, and she has two lovely boys who are doing really good. She's currently the creative director of Hermosa Boda, which is a creative merchandising outfit. She's a celebrated and decorated interior decor. She is a law graduate from, ladies and gentlemen, wait for this, University of Lagos. And she's a singer-songwriter. Can you hear? Oh, you've gone dark a bit. She's a singer-songwriter and a very deep worshiper of God in song, in life, and in everything she does. Her love for God is beyond crazy, guys. Beyond crazy. So, with no much further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you this Amazon, Ighiwiyisi Jacobs. Ladies, did I do well? Did I
Hi.
try? All right, guys. So
Fantastic.
please,
Yay.
we've got a lot of good stuff. Good stuff. So we've got a lot of love for you in the house. So let's get to it real quick because I know you're a very busy woman. So um, it's first of all, again, on behalf of everyone here, it's amazing to have you on board. I said to people before you joined, if they don't know that name after this session, they will know that name a whole lot better. The lady you see here, her oratory skills is beyond ridiculous. And the ease at which she delivers her message is just mind-boggling simple. I'll put it that way. But it's time to hear from her. Ighiwiyisi, thank you for joining again.
Yep.
And let's get to
Thank you
it. Fantastic. My first question to you is, it's all about hustle. It's all about stories. It's all about the journey. It's all about from a work in progress perspective. How did it all start for you? Where did hustle start from you? How did it all begin? And then we'll go from there. Over to you.
Okay. First of all, I want to say thank you for having me here. Thank you for taking the time. He's been very patient, and he's been following up and being very diligent about how he has put this together, I have to say. And I appreciate, and he knows I appreciate things done very well. So I want to just say that you do things very well. Thank you for having me
Thank
here.
you.
So my name is T. My name means I will not be lost in a strange land. Every time I say it, because it's my name. And I'll start out with something here about my name, and then I'll backtrack to what you just said, the question you just asked me.
Yes.
I used to dislike my name because people always pronounced it. Call me many different names because they can't quite pronounce my actual name. And I used to want to change my name to a regular sounding name just not to have to face that. Until one day I was just ruminating, as I sometimes do. And I heard in my spirit, and you're going to hear me say things like that a lot because I depend very much on the Holy Spirit. I'm Christian, very excitedly so. So I'm going to say things like that. So I just hope you get used to hearing that. So I just heard in my spirit,
that's fine.
Look at that pair of shoes. Or look at that product. And one of the products that I was pointed to was a product made by a designer called Manolo Blahnik. Another one was Louis Vuitton. Another one was Christian Dior. He said those names were not names that people found pronounceable at first, but they upped their work to such a point that you couldn't ignore them, and you had to find a way to say their name well, so that such that people laughed at you. That's how good their work. So he said, your name, raise your game, raise your work, make it such that people have to learn to pronounce your name. So when people stammer when they say my name now, or they say, sorry, what's your name? I take it like a challenge. I'm like, don't worry. Give me a couple of years. Give me some time. You are going to be the one telling me who I am. Just watch and see. So instead of trying to change the name I got, I raised my game. I joined hands with the Holy Spirit, and I partner with him to give me such excellence that people will learn to call my name because of his excellence in me. So how did this begin? There's so much story, but I'll start from Hermosa Boda, the Hermosa company. So my husband and I traveled. We went away on holiday with my sons and my younger sister. It was meant to be a shopping holiday. I'm not trying to be too Christian. I'm not that spiritual. I love to shop. So I went there with the intent to bankrupt the shopping mall. That was my plan. Plastic was going to melt. So that was my plan. So I went there, and this was when my boys are now 13 and 11. They were about 3 and 1 at that time. So the younger one was literally still either on the bottle or maybe just off the bread. I don't know. He was, so they were babies. But I'd already mixed their Ribena, mixed their this thing. There was nothing stopping me. Packed everything in the fridge, went with my sister, we went shopping. So we entered the mall, as people normally do. Entered there thinking, okay, we're going to just. So I am there thinking we're there for only maximum 2 hours. What's even a big deal? That's how.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Network release. Oh my God.
Can you hear me?
Hello? Yeah, we can hear you now. You just froze for a bit. Yeah, but we can hear you now. Yeah.
Connection issue. There's a connection issue.
But we can hear you now.
I'm in like the house that, I locked myself off because I wanted to not be disturbed. But I'm in a part of the house that is not good with service. So I have to open the door so that service does not get interrupted.
Okay.
So, so I then to my phone, I saw like 57 missed calls, 52 missed calls from my husband. I'm like, oh my God. So I picked up the phone and realized that from that 2 hours, it's like I've been there for 15 hours. I didn't know I'd been there. I think it was about 12 hours. I didn't know until I came out of the mall that the sun had gone down. When we came in, the sun was up. When we came out there, it was night.
Wow.
I rushed home, well, to the hotel we're staying at. My husband, when he opened the door, he was holding one child on one hand, holding the other hand. His eyes were red. He's like, where have you been? My husband doesn't get angry often, but he was like, where have you been? I'm like, I'm so sorry, you know, and please just forgive me. So I came in. So I came with my sister, and I was holding, like, two of us were holding 2 bags each, just 2 bags, you know. So he looked at us as if, then the next question was like, is this all you bought? And normally men don't ask that, but because of the 12 to 15 hours, he was like, at least justify the time you spent out. And you know, as he said it, that's how, you know, those guys, the bellmen, those ones that used to push cats in hotel, those ones. The guy came like, hey. So you know, he was still angry, but at least I can see something for watching. That's the guy pushed it in. So that's how much we shopped that day. But the moral of that story was, I sat down and I thought to myself, if I was in Tej, if I was in Yaba, if I was in what's that place? Although, sure, you know the places like Balogun, it won't happen. There's no way the sun will continue to beat me, and I won't know that I was in the sun for that long. So I realized that it wasn't just that I stumbled into the mall and spent that much time. It was that it was almost scientifically engineered. These people had it down to a science. That mall had not a single window, so you couldn't see out. That was not a mistake. The ambience of the mall was kept at a steady ambience. There was no dip in light. There was no change in light. So you thought that it was the same time. If you didn't look at your phone, you wouldn't know. They had a hotel. They had a hospital in case you drop dead. There's a hospital there. There's dentists. There's food. The idea is to get and keep the customer in. The windows, the displays, each shop is trying to outdo itself by drawing. If you came there to buy a wallet, you're going to leave there with a bag, a pair of shoes. You're going to leave there with a car. Things you didn't plan to buy, you will buy because they made you buy it. Now, if they put that bag on the floor in the corner and they just dumped it there, you won't look at that bag twice. But they display it and they play the right music. See, my brother, the music they played that day, throughout. Just music that keeps you going. There's no somewhere over there, no slow music. Fast, so that you are constantly on the move. You're not thinking about the fact that you are burning fat. You're not thinking about anything other than what your eyes are seeing. Now, for people who are not shoppers like me, you're thinking that can never happen to me. That's okay. But they're targeting. It's not you they're targeting. They're targeting people like me because they know that at least in any one family there is one avid shopper. I'm not targeting the whole family. I'm targeting one. If I can get that one in, that person will drag the others in, and that's how business happens. So when I got back to Lagos, it dawned on me that there was a science, and Nigerians are one of the most avid shoppers in the world. I'm not saying that because I'm trying to hype us. I'm saying that from actual fact. If you land, I once landed in Dubai, and there are these people, I don't know whether anyone has experienced this before, there are these people that they try to sell you property. They stand like almost where people come in. When you land, they are not far from coming. And they kind of, I noticed the day I came, the first time I saw them, they watched white people walk by. They didn't follow them. They angled. I saw them beeline for Nigerians, and I realized that there was a reason they were doing that. Nigerians, we don't buy with we buy with emotion. We buy with I've come here to make an impression. I've come here to make a dent. We don't buy in wants. We buy. That's why our flights are always overloaded because that's how we shop. So I thought to myself, why are we going out to shop? The reason we are going out is because of the way people outside have presented their work. They don't just put them. You see us in Nigeria when we're selling lace. We tie the lace around one mannequin, and that's the end of the lace. We put a shop, one funny galley on top of the mannequin's head, bam, and that's supposed to bring people in. That doesn't work. So I realized that there is a market, there is a niche, there is a place that is untapped in this country, and it is display. Window display that makes countries turn from just shopping places to tourist attractions. I will go when I travel to London. I go to Oxford Street. I go to places like that because I want to. I may not buy anything. I may not buy more than 2 items, but just the fact that I'm looking at the windows, it lifts my spirit. I want to see all that. So that becomes a tourist attraction. So that we start removing our eyes from petrol, oil, and gas, and moving to the true resource of Nigeria. It's people. It's people. So that's where it began from. This hustle, this work that you see that I do, it began from an aha moment. God gave me an aha moment. And he said, you see that thing that just happened to you? It can become your story. Take it and change it into something in your own country. Take each window by window. So I started slowly, window by window, slowly. And so it moved from just windows to what they call a set design. Set design is when you build a stage for someone. On stage. So when you go for you guys that are over there, you know this better than those of us who are here. When you go and watch shows on Broadway, Wizard of Oz, and you are seeing things like that, and they build this majestic sets. They don't just fall from heaven. They are built, and they are built for. God showed me that I should put window display and set design into one, and cause it. The common factor is people must stop and stare. If they don't stop and stare at the work, we have not finished the work. You understand what I'm saying? We're going to keep going until people stop and start taking pictures. That is when my work is done. If I don't see someone bring out their phone, take a picture, I'm not finished. Because it's meant to cause a spectacle. It's meant to stop you in your tracks. It's meant to make you, it's meant to draw you in so that you do what you are not planning to do before. So that's where it began.
So it's amazing with the because as you know, ideas on talk is cheap. You know, a lot of people I'm sure must have seen what you saw, and they never move to action. So I want to backtrack just a bit, because I also know that because someone might be listening or watching you and saying, "Oh my God, she looks so beautiful and all set," and you know, just so they appreciate the story, as it were. I know you've had a stage as an interior deco and all of that. So just leveling back to you finishing your law degree in school, ladies and gentlemen, she's a lawyer. To add on to all of this, what was that journey like? where you could have gone from you could have gone into the law practice 9 to 5. Where did that path kind of divide out for you to know that you're going entrepreneurial? How did that start? If you don't mind taking us through.
Okay, so yes, I did study law. I studied law in University of Lagos. But I kind of knew by the end of my first semester of my first year that I wasn't going to practice law. I knew almost immediately I wasn't going to practice it, but I had to finish because I began. And so I just put myself headlong and finished what I know that law is good. The knowledge of the law can never be a minus. It's always a plus. But I knew almost from the get-go that I wasn't going to practice. It was not a no-brainer. Now, how did I know what I was going to practice? That was a bit of a twist and turn. Sorry, there was a poor connection. So I've always been attracted to beauty. Okay. I've always wanted to, I've always appreciated it. I see it. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I've always been attracted to beauty. I've always been attracted to beauty in almost all its forms. Some of it I don't understand. Sometimes I see some artworks, I'm like, I don't get that, but I know it's beautiful. So I've always been attracted to beauty. So I've always somehow found my way in some kind of beauty thing. So I first of all started doing makeup. I started with makeup. And I found out not too long into it that I'm not the kind of person who likes to work with animate subjects. If my subject can move, or it can talk, or it can ask me questions, it's not for me. So I realized that not too far in, that it doesn't work. Because I tend to stand and stare at my subject for hours, just trying to derive inspiration. And human beings don't stay that still. They don't like to be stared at. And I'm comfortable when I'm alone and staring at one thing for a long time. I'm okay. So I don't like when people say, can I see my eye pencil? Can I see my nose? I like to work with wood and metal. They don't care how they look. They don't care. So they give me time to do what I want to do. So it made me move away from beauty on human beings to beauty on inanimate things. And so that's how I found my way into interior design. I've always loved, I walk into a building and all I'm looking for is how to make it look fantastic. I can see the structure of the house. I don't like when I see a house, you walk into a house, they spend money on the toilet is like that, the bedroom is like this. No, no, no. I like a house that is built. I don't mind. I don't need it to be fantastic. I just need it to be done well. So I walk in and I'm already looking and thinking, oh, I know what I can do here. So I began with interior decor. Now, when I began, my husband told me something. He said to me, he said, don't demand until you are in demand. He said, don't place a demand until you are in demand. He said, offer your work for free. Ask someone that you are ready to do it for free. They should not pay you for your service. They should just give you the money to do the shopping for whatever, but offer it for free. Give that as your, now listen, it's not for everybody, but that's what happened for me. My first couple of jobs, my very first job, first commercial job was the ice cream factory, the very first ice cream factory. They don't work, they're not there anymore. They've moved and they've become bigger. But the very first one was pro bono. I didn't charge them for that because I wanted to build a portfolio. I needed them to use me. So I took up the job. I did it without being paid. Now, not everybody has that luxury. I depended on my husband at that time, but he was understanding not to give me the room to be able to pursue my dream. So it began with interior decor. And then I moved from there, from the ice cream factory, right from that to a $1 million project. When I say $1 million, I actually mean dollar, not naira. That's how far I'll go with how much that cost. I moved right from that to that other one.
Now I need to pause you. I need to pause you there before we get into the $1 million. And it's amazing how it's amazing how, you know, all of us go through this. You know, you go through university, you know in your mind that, you know, there's something else you'd rather be doing, but like you said, you started, so you have to end. And now when you end, life is asking you that question, as in what are you going to do? And then you've gone into interior decor, makeup, and all of that. My question for you, just so we'll balance this, is did you at any point, before we get to the $1 million question, did you at any point think that, you know what, do I just leave all of this and go back to law? You know, at that very young, early stage of your hustle journey, did that ever come? And how did you get out of that mindset, if that happened?
Oh my goodness. So that's a fantastic question, because I did not stop at my beginning stage. That is a constant thing I ask myself nearly every day. One of the things that will happen is your hustle, your dream will test you. If it is big enough, it will test you every day because of the design. Now, I did feel at sea at some, when I was in between makeup, when I realized that makeup wasn't for me, that is, makeup professionally wasn't for me. It wasn't a switch immediately. I never wanted to go back to law because I knew, like I said, law was not going to be, but I figured perhaps that it wasn't as smooth to move, what they call it, from makeup to interior design.
Yeah. I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
So, we are gonna battle through this network regardless. All right. There was a little gap in there. So if you could just backtrack a bit and then pick up the story from there. Don't worry, we'll battle through this network regardless.
Okay, so
can you hear me?
I think okay. I think maybe I can hear you. I think where you lost me was I was saying, what did I say? Hindsight, we kind of shorten it. And there's no way to tell you the amount of pain and sweat and blood and tears that happens in between. But there is
absolutely
that. And I'm learning to document that, because that is what helps people. That sweat, blood, and tears is what helps people. If you don't give them the gift of that knowledge, they don't know how to move, and they end up giving up. So what I found was that sometimes dreams don't die. They just metamorph. They grow into something else. To give it time. I've learned now how to breathe between and the pupa and the imago. I've learned how to breathe and wait. When I began, it wasn't, breathing was hard, because you think when you see the imago or the pupa, you think that the end is dead. You don't realize that that pupa that imago carries a butterfly that will one day fly if you give it time to come out. So my moving from makeup to interior design was my imago pupa stage. So I will say this: watch from God. You want somebody who will help you make sure that you are in between, not dead.
Yeah.
You may be still, you may not be moving, but you are just cocooning, you are hibernating, you are dreaming, you are not dead. You are looking for someone like that. That is my prayer for everybody, that God will give you someone like that, who is skilled enough to know what stage you are at and counsel you rightly, so that you don't jump the gun or quit just before you become a butterfly. So I had that in my husband. He was very supportive to me. And because he was he had worked for a while and he had a bit of how these things were, he encouraged me and gave me time to sort of wait. And then add to that, God was the one who turned my eyes and showed me that the problem was not with me quite per se. It was with the subject. I had gone the wrong field. I had the right vision, but the wrong field. And so he began. And so what happens is you kind of start to tune your ears to say, what catches your attention when you walk around? What do you find as a problem? What annoys you? What irritates you when you see it on sight? That may be where your dream is. That's what you were called to solve. If it irritates you, if it makes you want to change it, it's like that's where you're meant to go. And so God began to turn my eyes to things that I always picked up. He said, every time you walk into a room, change that room. That is why the problem with human beings is to spaces, to beings. That's what you're meant. It's not beauty. It's like you're trying to put beauty on human beings. And so so I have two factors here. Someone who can tell you it's not over. You are just hibernating. You're not dead. You need that person who will turn your eyes from what you were doing wrong to what you can do right, because he knows what he put in you, and it is more important to him than to you that you succeed. He will keep blowing that fire. He will keep pushing you in the right direction. So that's how I moved from makeup to interior design. It wasn't a fast move, but like I said, God gave me I'm dying in my hibernating period. I kept breathing until the new path. So take away point. God gives you a midwife, and God gives you himself. The two combined, and you won't die in the hibernation stage in Jesus' name.
Just 1 second. I'm just I see a lot of how will I put it? Assertiveness, clarity. I sense a lot of passion in every word. It's almost like no word comes out of you that is not intentional, even when you're joking. For me, I'm always keen to ask this question as to where did that develop? What part of your life did that develop from? Because again, I ask because the hustle is the hustle, but as you know, can you hear me? Okay, the hustle is the hustle, but as you know,
yes, I can hear you.
Yes, the gift of passion, of resilience, of all of those things are the ingredients that keep you going, alongside the support system, and of course God. So I get that impression from you when you talk, and I'm keen to understand where the source of that came from, even though I know God is a factor. But was that a growing up thing? Was that something you came into? How did that get to place that you spit this fire that you speak every time?
Okay, so no, it's not a growing up thing. I had a very strong woman as a mother, very strong. So it would seem that it came from there. She did a fantastic job in raising her children, I have to say. God bless the memory of my mother. But I was I am still like that. I am very introverted. I don't like to be in front of the camera. I don't like attention. I don't like people looking at me directly. I prefer my own company, and I mean that very, very literally. So what that did was it made me very I had a serious inferiority complex. Serious. When I say serious, I'm not talking about, you know, maybe your figure or some ephemeral. I'm telling you that it ate into me. I could not see anything good about myself. Nothing. I want to just say that to give a backtrack, so you know that it is not that it's a natural. What you are seeing here is not a natural thing. Anyone who knows me now will understand that a lot of what you see in my life now is extra normal. It's not me. And if I don't say it that way, I will be lying. I'm not trying to make it sound like a story. I'm telling you the truth. Because it's possible that you can go back into time and go and, but in the age of Instagram now, you can go and check. This is not how I normally am. I'm not the one to just have what to say. If I'm putting words together, it's because God is talking through me. I'm not trying to be funny here. So God helped me. It was a long phase of my life. I went through weight issues. I went through physical. When I say weight, I mean, you know, I hated myself at a point in my life. I could not stand to be seen. That's how bad it was. Now, I remember that time I was trying very hard. Your problem is not your weight. Your problem is the way you see yourself. Say, give me time. Let me deal with that first. It took 5 years. 5 years, I remember. God dealt with me actively through my husband and directly. He loved me in that position. He deliberately, I didn't lose any. In fact, I gained weight. But he taught me what it means to be loved of God, what it means to be loved by God. And when he was done, he said, now you will lose that weight. And he gave me the strength to lose it. And I did. Not a second before he dealt with what was really wrong with me, which was a wrong image. I had a terrible image of myself. God put the mirror of word in front of me and showed me how he sees me. That's why I can talk to you like the way I'm talking today. Because I am deeply and utterly aware of how loved I am. It bars me. It makes me able to stand where I would normally have crumbled. So I can see like the way I speak to you, because I know I'm loved. Whether this video happens or not, whether anybody comes online or not, I am wearing a garment of love. It is my armor. I wake up, happens around me, happens inside me. I am loved irrevocably, unchangeably, by a God who did not stammer when he said, I love you. Did not stutter when he said it. He loves me actively and deliberately. So that's why I'm able to be the way I am today. I wish I could attribute it to myself or my upbringing, but I can't. It's God. So I don't know. Did I answer your question? I hope
It did answer. Amazing stuff. Because you know what? You hear this all the time, but you hear it either far away or you hear it in forums that, you know, you go and thinking like, how practical is that? But, you know, looking at you, and in fact, you're explaining what you're explaining, the passion and, you know, intentionality to what you're saying just drives through. So that's amazing. So now we have aligned the you to your startup, to makeup, to interior decor. Now zero back to this $1 million project that God brought into your way. Tell us about this. And I'm so excited to hear this. And I think it will bless, you know, it will encourage someone. So yeah, just take us through that experience and then we'll go from there.
Yes. Okay. So I think it was that same trip to Dubai. Now, you know, earlier I told you how I began Hermosa Boda, the Hermosa company.
Yes. Yeah.
I told you where it started. The seed for it was sown years before it matured. You see that story? Between that story in Dubai, when I went to Dubai shopping, and when I actually started the Hermosa company, I think we had about there is a gap between seed and fruit. You have to understand that you don't die in the middle. 9 years.
Wow.
Yep, at least 9 years. I'm being conservative when I say that. So, but the seed was sown, and a lot of time when the seed is being sown, you don't know it's being sown. You don't know. So it's when it becomes a plant that you now realize, oh, that's what that was there. So I didn't know when I was seeing that happen that something was being birthed at that point. It took 9 years for that thing to mature. Some people don't take 10 months, some 5 days, some takes nine years. It's what you're carrying. The elephant cannot say, I want to be like the rat. Not elephant. Elephant is not rat. So what you are carrying determines how long you are going to carry that pregnancy for, that seed for. You are looking for someone who can look at you and tell you are carrying twins. You are carrying triplets. You are carrying a single child. Don't be in a hurry. Just be patient. You are looking for someone who can look at you and tell you, my dear, calm down. Just calm down. What you are carrying is not the same as that person. Stop looking at that person. Follow God. So that helped me. God planted that seed 9 years before I got it. So now backtrack. That same year I got the seed, it was the year I got the call for this $1 million project. So my mother company is in the oven. It's just there cooking slowly. Then God brings another project, which is the precursor, is where I begin to learn the things I will then use in the future. So I'm in Dubai, and my sister calls me and says that when you come back, you're going to have to come and see someone. I met someone and I told this person what you do. And this person says they actually need your service. So I'm like, okay. So she tells me, this is how you would do. This is how you would dress. This is what you would do. This is what you would say in terms of appearance and positioning. She explained how to do it. And then I went from there. I remember that day. I was still breastfeeding my second son. I left him in the car with my sister and someone else, put Ribena in his mouth, just keep him there until the car AC was running, just left him there. So I didn't even have someone to leave him with. So I can tell you the back end of this story. Sometimes people think that it's just like that. I'm going to tell you the sweat, blood, and tears. When God gives you a miracle, you are going to milk that miracle. The people see, you're not going to put that miracle in your pocket and say, God gave me a miracle. They're going to multiply it. They're going to milk it dry. They're going to make it, if God gave you 5, you will give God back 100. Because in that miracle is a seed for many others. You can't take one and say, that's it. Okay, God gave me the end. No, that's not what he expects when he gives you. So I left that boy in the car, entered this place. I brought my portfolio. Bear in mind, I've only done one job before then, one job, one commercial job. So I brought that commercial. That's what I brought. That's what I have. I brought it to the man. He looked at it, he said, madam, it's like this thing is not going to work. This thing you have showed me is not what I want. I was a little distracted, a little disheartened, but I heard in my spirit, ask him what he wants. So I said, sir, what do you want? I said, what do you like? He said, classical. I said, what? I didn't say what classical. In my mind, I was like, oh, classical. But in real life, I'm like, oh, okay. Like I knew what he was saying. I said, sir, I heard in my spirit, ask him if you can present again. I said, sir, can you give me audience to come back? I think it was a Friday. He said, okay, Monday, come back. So I went home and Googled classical, perhaps classical guitar, classical piano, classical singer. I said, God, this is what I'm looking for. And I heard in my spirit, which is why I can't, if you notice, I can't separate God from my story, because every time, every step, you're going to see God show up for me. He said in my ear, he said, Google opulence. Google the word opulence. So I put opulence in Google. And he began to show me what the man was saying. Perhaps he was saying Baroque, classical, carving work, all that one that you see in palace. That's what he was talking about. I didn't know. I said, yes, sir, yes, sir. So I saved the pictures, put it in a mood board. And then I went to see him on Monday. I said, sir, this work is not my work, but if you give me this job, I will do it for you. He looked at me and said, okay. See, my brother, the money, first of all, he said, come to my house and see the house I live in so you can understand what I'm saying really. So he invited me, and I think sister and I, 2 of us came. We saw the house. See, my brother, you know when they say heart cuts, my heart cuts in my spirit. I'm like, God, in this Lagos I do, and I was living here together, and they are human beings like this. Hey! And it's only, I think it's only parlor, maybe waiting room I saw. It's not even the real house I saw. Hey! Hey. Anyway, the man said, and he said that, so he wanted to use this. So the house he wanted to decorate was not even in Lagos. He wanted to use that one to test me. He wanted to test me first. So he said, I will give you a car and a driver. And that driver will take you you will go and see the house, and then you will come back. So they took me that journey. Let me tell you, so you can hear the hustle behind this. That place took 8 hours to drive to and 8 hours back. 16 hours complete on the road. Because I'm not one to go and start looking for where to go to the toilet on the road and in the bush. I wouldn't eat throughout. I used to take crackers with me. I would put crackers in my mouth so that my mouth would not be dry. and I would drink like 2 sips of water, 2 sips, just so that I will not feel like using the toilet in between. Just to tell you how just so you when you hear $1 million, you understand that there is a $1 million work behind it. So I went there the first time, saw the place, and I came back. I said, yes, sir, I've seen it, sir. So when he saw my eye and saw that, oh, forget seeing my eye, God just favored me. This man sent the first. I didn't believe until he sent the first step. So when I was quoting, see, when I say God sends you midwives, my sister was a midwife here. She said she called me, said, my sister, what you will do and you will help me quote well. That don't inflate the price. So don't inflate that. But he's not a normal person you are quoting for. Don't be shy. You understand? I say quote. He's expecting it. Let him hit him with the bill. Let him know. So now let me explain what that means. You see, and I've carried that thing from that time till now. I don't do bogus bill. I don't do it. You see that bill? My bill is not cheap. I've never, from the beginning, my work has never been cheap. It's not that I feel like being expensive, just because I'm going to give you something nice. But that thing I'm going to quote for you on your invoice, I guarantee you, carry it anywhere and find the price. You will see it. Forget that. You're not going to come back and say, so it takes me time. My invoices take time because I want to back my work up with actual quality. It's not bogus pricing. Forget that. So from the beginning already, so she told me, said, see, make sure you put in that invoice things that are worthy of your client. This man expects you to bring the best to him. Don't bring. And when I got the job, he told me, said, madam, I worked for him for 18 good months. He called me madam, madam from the beginning to the end. I don't think he knows my name today. Madam, he said, madam, don't bring China into my house. Don't travel to China. Don't fly Air China. Don't fly by China. Don't pass on top of China. Just don't bring. You can do anything, but don't bring China in. What we're trying to say is don't bring. I'm sure we're trying to say. So
yes,
he hit me with the first deposit, and I began to fly everywhere because I had to. Not that I wanted to, because I had to. The caliber of this kind of project propelled me. See, my brother, when you go and renew your passport, you renew it, then you go and get visa left, right, because you are about to explode into the world. Yes, I went from ice cream factory straight to this job. I want to explain so there is no explicability. So that's where the God factor comes in here. I can't tell you that one because I did something between there and there. No. God just chose to give me something that will baffle me, believe in that all. And so for that one, the only way I can explain myself to you is that there is a God factor here, and he's going to repeat himself throughout my career. So anyway, but the thing is, when the God factor comes your way, you have to honor that God with your best. You can't meet it sitting down. You can't meet it lying down. You can't be lazy. You can't be me to show God, because he has put you on the now come back and make high for putting you up. Is his name at stake here. So you gotta bring your best. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So you sleep. See, when my clients pay me, sleep. I say sleep is for the dead. Sleep is for who? For the dead. When we die, we'll sleep. So you lose sleep. My sister, my brother, anybody listen to me here. If you want to be great, let sleep go away from your mind. Forget about sleep. Forget about I need to use the toilet. Forget about all those bodily functions. Forget about it. Do you want to be great or do you want to be regular? It's just a question I'm asking you here. So when God comes your way, he's coming at you with greatness. You must respond with greatness. You must have the attitude of excellence, not mediocrity. Not it's 5 o'clock. So by 5 o'clock is closing time. So by 4:30, I pack your bag. You're already on the road. No. You forget that. You are awake. My clients, they know me. My sister says no. There's a time you must cut off your after a certain time you must stop responding to me. I say, hey, you have paid me. I will answer your call. I will pick it. Call me, my me. I will pick your call. I'm here. I wipe my eye. I'm here. What do you need from me? So, anyway.
Oh my God.
I went around the world. I went there, except for China, apart from Asia, I went everywhere. My brother, I touched down See, let me explain what God used that project to do. I went into You know, when you go to high street, when you go to shopping malls, when you go into high street shopping, right? No, I'm not talking about what they call them, low end, high end. Then when you get there, they will take you to their office on top. You're not shopping on the grounds anymore. You enter their office. Then after that, you now take you to your account department. I didn't know that this company had account department, because the amount of money I was moving was too much for ATM. Hey, my brother, I used that project to move from normal card status to black card. Black card.
Wow.
God used my eye to see by myself, so that it won't be something that I hear in on TV. He wanted to show me what he can do when he steps into the room. I should not be into what God. Let me tell you what God used that project to do. He used it to break the power of intimidation. Before that project, I used to feel intimidated. When I open catalogs, I would see some high-end stores and I'd be like, hey, God, when can I ever get there? When can I ever be like that? Then God sent me this project to show me that question. The answer is God. Is not is God will answer in a way that he will show you that you can move from one level to the other if you hold on to him. But when you do, you can't feel that God. You must be there. You are being gymming. You see that time you were quiet when nothing was happening. That time you're not to be sleeping. That's not the time to be looking into thin air. You be gymming, be doing press-ups, be getting ready, be doing pull-ups, be learning, be growing. Because you don't go, it's not when you get a project, you not go and start looking for where you will buy it from. It's not when they say go and buy pillow. They're going to start looking for where they sell pillow. It's before they say it. I've already gone to all the shops. I know where they sell Egyptian cotton pillow, the one where they sell Buckingham Palace pillow. I know. So that when the client comes and says, I want to buy pillow, I already know where to go. I'm like an arrow in the hand of the arrow shooter. When you release me, I know where I'm going. That is what your period of waiting is for. Don't waste your waiting time looking into it and saying, why me, God? No. Use it to gym. Use it to do sit-ups. Do press-ups. Get better. Because the day is coming when someone will pick up the phone and call you. When that day comes, make it count. Make that phone call what? Count. Pick up that phone. Yes, I'm here for you.
Wow.
I'm ready. I'm ready. Hit me. I'm ready. You're already your track down. So I'm going. So that's what that was about. So I don't know whether we're over time. I can't see what the time is. Should I stop? I'm not sure what the time is.
No, don't worry. I'll keep you. Just keep. No, we're not. Just keep going. I'll keep you in place. But you remember what we said, because this is let's keep going.
Yes.
So for me, because I know that there's still some things you want to say about that, and which is great. But you mentioned something which was what I was going to ask. Some people in the corporate scene, they have this imposter syndrome. That's what they call it, But you mentioned it about being intimidated about, you see high level stuff and all of that. Whilst you were going through all of that, whilst I know that for you, God is a big factor, which kind of cushions you up into that. But how did you mentally deal with the fact of looking at yourself to be able to say professionally, even though I haven't done this, but I'm good enough and I can do this? How did you come out of that shell of not being intimidated by this massive project? And then you can tell us through to the end of that story, and then we'll go into your music.
Yes. So like I said, that, you see, the thing about having God as part of it, it doesn't having God with you, or having God actively or depending actively on God does not excuse you from the work. It does not mean it came easy.
Say it again.
Yes.
Just say that
having
word
God,
again.
or depending on God and knowing that He's there and knowing that you're depending on Him does not excuse you from the work. In fact, it places a higher demand on you. You don't sleep when other people are sleeping, because it's that God that will wake up and say you can't sleep. Wake up. That God does not allow you to sleep. When people are sleeping, does not rest. Doesn't understand when you are saying you want to rest. He's like, see, guy, you need to be awake. So He will give you the strength to stay up longer, to go without longer. He builds capacity. With God, the road is harder. It's not easier. It's harder, but because you are with God, he makes it look like it's not work because there is grace involved. So you are not saying, I'm running to God, and that by doing that, I'm running away from work. No, when you're going to God, you're running to work. You're running towards work because God is a hard worker. God did not stop working until he finished creating. Bible says when he first made the first things he created, when he did day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, it was when he got to day 6 that God looked upon everything, and then the Bible says, and then he rested. We don't quit until it's done. We don't rest until it's done. That's how God is. He didn't stop to rest. He didn't sleep. He didn't wait. He finished. And what did he do? He checked to see if it was good. It had to be good. There was quality control there going on before he said, I will stop now. So before I stop my own work, I always do it. I check again. See, my people that work with me, they know. See, if we're on set, for the next 5 days, forget sleep. Forget it. Use toothpick to hold your eye open, but you will stay awake. You didn't come here to sleep. When I pay you, you will buy bed. See, the good thing about me is that I pay well. When I pay you, will buy the bed you will sleep on. Don't worry. But for now, we're not sleeping. And I sit down with them there. There's no going home. They will see me there. My eye too is open. There's not being there with your eyes open. When they see you that you're not sleeping, they too will not sleep. Because we don't quit until it's done. When is it finished? When it's good. It's not until our line is straight. We will be there until you see, I don't care. I will replace you. If you're tired, I will get somebody else. But you see that line, it will be straight. Because that's how God intends it. So having God does not excuse you from the work. In fact, you are going to be called on for more work. What will happen is that God will deepen your capacity. He will expand your ability to bear pain, to bear disappointment. You will get capacity not to break under pressure. That's the God factor here. Not that you jump from here to there. That is the benefit of having God. But the real God factor is capacity. You are able to stay longer. You are able to bear longer. You are able to move further. Your candle burns later at night. People will see and they wonder that you've not slept. They'll be saying, hey, you look so well, you rested. I'm like, hey, if you know well as I slept, you will be shocked. I said there was a set I was on. I did not sleep for 41 hours straight. 41. My eye did not close like this.
Wow.
41 until I was coming back. I had to go and have my bath, and I was coming back from where I was coming, and I slept off in the car. I didn't sleep off until people started honing. God just saved me.
Wow.
I entered into the intersection, and I fell asleep from my body shut down because it could not stay on anymore. But I say that to say that is you break your physical limits.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you.
So you break your physical limits. You break your physical tiredness. You thought you could not stay up late. When God enters, he magnifies your ability to stay up. You'll be awake. You will see. You'll be going to see what happens with me with my work now. I'm only going to sleep when people are waking up. So people usually think that when they come and see me, they think I just woke up. They know that I've been awake all night. I'm actually just going to sleep now.
Wow.
That is what God does when he comes in. You have capacity to do what you could not do before. Because you're dealing with God.
Wow.
God is now in the room here, and you're going to accept mediocrity.
Wow.
So you must.
Wow. You're shaking tables, like they say. Heavy tables. Because, again, whoever is just joining now can look at you and like, okay, this woman just looks like from Vogue magazine, or she's just come out of some shopping spree, and then she's doing a live, your perfect description of when they say looks are very deceptive. And again, I look at creative people, and in my mind, I think they're closest to God, and I explain why. Because the whole process of birthing an idea, and then finally putting a manuscript or sketch on paper, and then slowly putting colors and all of that, And of course, with what you do, they're just drop dead gorgeous when they all come together. When I put the advert for this out and your picture with the whole flower behind it, a couple of people were asking me like, what's this about? I said, you know what, you find out, because that's what she does. That she makes you ask a question. She makes you look the second time as to why those things. And in that creative process, I also know, like you just said, there's a whole lot of quiet time between you and what you're trying to create. Again, just from a human perspective, do you ever go through what creatives will call a block, and then you have a delivery deadline and everything is not merging together and it's just you and that sketchbook in a quiet room? How do you deal with that, or have you dealt with that? And then we'll go from there. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes. Oh, one. Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yes.
So yes, 100%. There are those times where, like currently, I'm working on a project and I've been staring at that project because the number of things in my mind, there are too many to put into that one project at the same time. So I'm trying to find which one works best for what we're about to do. And that process can make you, can stifle the juices that are flowing, because you're trying to find which one works. A true creative, a pure creative does not want to be limited. What you want is to be able to do everything in your mind at the same time. That's what a true creative is that way. Not very good with trying to be structured.
Yeah.
We're not good. Which is another thing. Sometimes you have to find out what your strength, not sometimes, every time. Know your strengths. In fact, I say to people and to myself, become more familiar with your weakness than your strengths. Why? Because your enemy or your competition is going to, they're not going to look at your strengths. They're going to come for your weakness. So become more familiar with what you're weak at and send strength there. So if you're not strong at accounts, you're not strong at admin, hire someone who is good. Don't be one-man army. If you're not good at it, get someone who's good at it so that you don't become frustrated. So that's something that was a hard one for me, but I've learned that the hard way. I don't know that you can.
Yes. I can. Okay. All right. So can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear
you.
you.
Hear me? All right, cool. So we've got a minute and 44 seconds to this hour. So, like I said, this is what we're going to do, guys. This story is just about to get even greater. So, I'm sure, I know we spoke about this earlier. Is that okay to just do a couple more minutes?
It's fine.
Just so we get closer to the story.
Yes.
All right, cool. So, guys, I'm going to log out now, and then I'm going to reconnect back, and then we'll continue the story. It's amazing, amazing, amazing stuff. You don't want to miss this. So join us back. I'm going to log out now and then go back, and I'll see you in a minute, Ighiwiyisi. All right. See you guys in a minute. Bye.